The rain had been in Weatherfield for 3 days straight, drumming a steady and patient rhythm against the terraced houses, slicking the cobbles and turning the Rovers' returns windows into mirrors. Even on a street used to grudges and gossip, the drizzle did something to the town. It made secrets shrink, made faces look harder. Vicky Myers pulled her coat tighter and watched through the glass as people passed. A couple arguing in quick bursts. An old man with a dog who refused to meet anyone's eyes. A teenager with headphones as if the music could keep the rest of the world at bay. Vicky had never been good at letting things go. The family trait, maybe, or else it was the way she had to live. Always counting, always planning. With a history like hers, there was no room for slack. The Myers name had been on Weatherfield's softer side of the ledger for years. A florist's stall that had turned into a small shop. A few quiet loyalties in the church. An ex-husband who still took no more than he needed. But lately, the ledger had grown a different kind of notation. Fear. "Vix! Stop lurking like some haunted pigeon," Lisa shouted from the doorway, headset pressed to her ear, voice a bright slash in the damp air. Lisa was the new one on the street in a way. Arrived a year ago with a battered suitcase and a resume that suggested both determination and a lack of discretion. She moved fast, laughed faster, and always asked the wrong questions at the wrong times. She had something else too, a curiosity that had already dug more than one loose stone from the past. Vicky hated that curiosity. She hated the way it tilted the sun. Lisa bounded across the Rovers, hair damp, smile unapologetic. "You look like you've swallowed a thundercloud." "Just thinking," Vicky said. She did not want to say the other thing aloud, that the thundercloud was the shape of the Myers family history, that it had been aging into something worse than shame. About tomorrow. A date with destiny? Lisa said. Or with Dan from the garage? Neither. Vicky let the word out like a slow breath. Rupert Hewwood. Lisa's hand curled around the mug on the counter. Rupert Hewwood. Quietly wealthy, charming in the way of men who wore bespoke coats and secret opinions, had only recently become visible in Vicky's orbit. He'd made a donation to the local hospice, his name on the brass plaque in the entrance. He'd offered a loan to a coffee shop, shook hands with the mayor, smiled at local reporters. To most of Weatherfield, he was the generous stranger who'd given the town a little polish. To Vicky, he was the man who had once been its small, cruel judge. "You're not serious?" Lisa asked. "Very," Vicky said. She had rehearsed the confession for months like a speech she never wanted to give. Hewwood funded a redevelopment, years ago. My dad, your uncle actually, spoke up against it. He said it would push people out. He lost friends. He lost business. He was ostracized for saying no to someone who could give the council a facelift. Lisa's face had softened. Because Rupert's not just a businessman. He gathers people who agree with him. He makes the town smaller, on someone else's terms. He made my father smaller. Vicky let the words fall. And when Dad tried to get the truth heard, about the contractors, about the bypassing of safety checks, he was ruined. A court case, a scandal, and then, my father's mind. He stopped being Tom Myers. He stopped coming to the shop. He stopped smiling. The coffee shop's radio played on, oblivious to the confession. Lisa's jaw worked. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because I found something." Vicky said it fast, needing to get the fact out. A folder, in Dad's old shed, hidden beneath seat packets. It has names. Banks, receipts, a ledger that doesn't fit the numbers on the council minutes. There's something else there, too. A note. A single line. Hewwood will not stop at money. Lisa's eyes darted to the Rover's door, to the rain, to the end of the street where shadows collected. "You think he did more than spin deals, Vix?" "I don't know." Her voice trembled despite her best efforts. "But if your nose runs, you'll be the first to know." "I need to," Vicky swallowed. "I need to prove something." "And if Lisa starts poking?" A voice called a beat too loud. At the doorway was Michelle, wrapped in a cardigan that probably came from a charity shop in happier times. Eyes bright with the kind of news that needed no rain to steam. Rupert Hewwood's at the hospice tonight. Fundraiser, champagne, speeches, and me pretending I can carry a purse. The fundraiser became a knot in Vicky's chest. She pictured men with cufflinks and women with names in the papers, all gathered in polished rooms where truth went to be polished away. She imagined Rupert smiling, his hand tucked with practiced casualness into his coat, and the ledger in her bag, its papers soft with secrets. The next morning, she found herself